Hey folks, it's Grant over at Local Cooling Farms. We're doing some tree work today, so I wanted to do a quick video on this. We definitely love our power equipment. We have a steel combi system, and this is the pole saw that we use a lot of times. But depending on how much time you have and depending on the temperature and stuff, this equipment is very heavy. So I'm not going to use this on the sapling today. I'm going to use this Silky professional arborist saw. If you're doing a lot of limb cutting on your farm, I really recommend getting this guy. I literally have had this saw for something like 15 years. It's telescopic, it's real nice. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna cut the lower limbs off of this, this small pine tree. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm gonna put this down. The reason that we're trimming the branches, so we're just doing a chop and drop. So we're just cutting the branches and we're letting them fall. We want more grass to be growing underneath this area. We're right next to a ditch here. We do graze this area when it's dry. And so, a couple things. The tree's gonna end up looking better. 2, I can walk around it. 3, the cattle can walk around it. And then 4, or if that's 5, we're gonna allow sunlight to hit, so we're gonna have more growth. So this is kind of like a step in the direction of creating dappled sunlight to create more of a Sylvopasture system. And so we're systematically doing this with all the trees and all the saplings on our place. So as trees grow up, we're coming in and we're cutting the lower branches around them so we can walk around them, drive the tractor around them and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm just gonna cut, I'm gonna show you how real quick this saw works. This thing's nice because it's lightweight. I can have my earbuds in, listening to an audiobook. It's, you know, it's not loud, it's not super heavy, you're not using fuel, and if you do it right, you're not going to be killing yourself. So I'm just going to get after it here and go through some of the things to look for. You know, one, you know, you don't want to be putting a lot of effort into it. You want to be using that blade. So this is just me relying upon that real long blade to do the cutting. It's got a stop, you know, it's got 2 stopping points on it. With branches about this size, I might do a little quick undercut to keep that bark from peeling. You know, I'm not doing arborist work for a customer, but I don't want to set up my trees to where they're getting a beetle infestation or some sort of other infestation through my cuts. I do want clean cuts. And so, and like even on this gnarly guy, a lot of times you may want to grab the saw, but I'm just going to do a cut into that bark layer underneath it, and then I'm going to flip over, grab the end of this guy to where all the weight's on that blade, and I'm just going to let the blade do all the work. Boy, this one actually might be very appropriate for the saw, or the power saw, because I'm hitting a bunch of sap on this one, but I'll finish it. That was kind of a nasty one to use with the manual saw. So, because if I had 10 of those to do, I am going to start getting a little wiped out with doing the manual. But you can see how easy all these smaller branches go down. And this is something that you can keep with you a little bit easier than that pole saw. You don't have to have the fuel with you and all the other gear. And you see how much nicer this guy is looking now. The other thing that we're doing is preparing the farm for farm tours, so we can start getting into some agritourism. And it's really something that we want, is for the farm to almost have a park-like look. Okay, so this looks like that. dead sapling. That's not even connected to the tree. So there we go. And then how high are we going? We want to go as high as we need to where we can get underneath with the equipment. So we've got a canopy on one of the tractors. So that canopy is just about that tall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this lower one still. So there we go. Man, that looks so much better too. And we're gonna leave, we're gonna clean up the branches in the road here, but we're gonna leave all the branches here. If I had my wish, we'd had a PTO wood chipper hooked up to the tractor and we'd be over here wood chipping it. But it's equipment use, it's fuel use, it's more time for us. We really don't need wood chips in the area. I'd rather have the branches here to support the rabbits and stuff that we have around here as protection from hawks. The more rabbits we have here, the less the hawks will go after our laying hens. And so we can utilize these branches also for habitat building. And then it's also going to help build the soil layer here. So by the time that these things are all broken down, it's going to form a nice little natural humus layer. And then stuff's going to start growing underneath. And so that's what we're doing. That looks much better. And so, you know, we've got a couple hundred trees on the farm that we need to do that to. And so we want to make it that park-like feel. It's going to increase the property value. It's going to give you more of a Sylvopasture system. And it's just more appealing to the eye whenever you have folks coming over to your farms. That's it. I just want to go through that with y'all today. Y'all have a good one.